Hi everyone, today I will be giving my how-to speech on how to drive a manual car. I will be using some notes just so I don't forget anything and make sure I cover everything about how to drive a manual car. So, to start, let me tell you a few things you to know about a manual car. It has 3 pedals, it has a clutch, a brake, and gas, meaning you will use both of your feet to drive. That's weird, I know. They also have 4 to 6 gears and 1 reverse gear. Manual transmission cars do not have a gear called park, like an automatic car does. To park a manual car, you must leave it in first gear and pull the emergency brake while holding your foot on the brake. Unlike automatic cars, you have to push the clutch all the way in and turn your key to get your car started. So, when you get in your vehicle, buckle up, then push your clutch all the way in till it's reached its stopping point, and turn your key to start the engine. Once the car has started, you are free to let go of the clutch. Take a look at your car's gears and what they range from. In my case, my car has 6 gears. So when you're in the vehicle, you finally have it turned on and everything, take a moment to push the clutch all the way back in while having the clutch in, put it in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, including reverse. So once you get comfortable with these gears and you know where they're at and how it feels and stuff, you can go ahead and put your right foot down on the brake and release the emergency brake. So you have your brake on the foot. If you leave your brake on your foot on the brake, you should be fine. The car won't move or anything. Okay, so yes, so at this point, you know where your clutch, your gas, your brake are at. You know where your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and reverse gears are at. So you're ready to drive. Once you are ready and all of that, you're comfortable. So like I said, you have your foot on the brake. You're going to go ahead and push the clutch all the way in and move to first. So here comes the tricky part. When driving a manual car, you can stall out, meaning that your car can turn off if you pull out the clutch too fast or don't give it enough gas. So the hardest part to learn, I would say, is first gear. First gear is because you're at a stopping point. You're going from stopping to moving. So you'll have to balance the clutch and the gas. So right now your foot's on the brake. So you have your foot all the way in and you have your car in first. Okay, so you'll move your right foot from the brake to the gas. You have to balance the clutch, releasing it up and pushing the gas down to get the car moving. A tip that I would give you guys is that you have to give a little bit more gas, like give more gas. When you first start off, just always push a lot more gas as you're releasing the clutch. You might go or have a rough start, but that's okay. When you start new things, we all know that it's not always going to be perfect and it's going to take a few tries and stuff. So that's why I say that the first part, I would say that's the hardest is first gear, is learning first gear. Okay, so like I was saying, the hardest part was to master first gear. And you can only stall, get your car, or your car turns off on first gear. Only on first gear. That's why it's the hardest one to balance. Once you have mastered the first gear, use the tip of pushing more gas than as releasing the clutch. It might be a little bit of a rough start, but you have to find the bite between your clutch and your gas. You have to find that bite so you can be able to take off smoothly. So once you have mastered those, you want to move it up to your other gears. Every time you want to shift, you must push in your clutch all the way. So once you're in you're ready to shift to second, push the clutch, shift down a second, and push the gas. Again, moving to second to third, clutch, third, gas. It's much easier for the other gears. It's much smoother because you're already in motion. Typically, like I said, your first gear is from stopping point to starting point. Second is like to make safe turns. Like if you're already going at a speed, you want to throw your car into neutral, slow down. When you're making the turn, put it in third. Or when you're already at a stop, first. When you're going to make that turn, throw it into second. It's always the safest gear to make a turn in. Third and fourth are for smaller areas like your neighborhood and things like that where you're going to be going like 30 to 35 miles per hour. And fifth to sixth is like access roads and highways. So the higher the gear, the higher the velocity. On the highway, to get on the highway, you're going to shift all the way up. Say you're at a stoplight and you're trying to get on the ramp to the highway. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. So fifth, you're going to take it all the way up till you get to 60, and then you could shift it into sixth. Once you are on sixth in the highway, you don't need to take it out of sixth. You just drive. You leave it in sixth and you just drive. Another tip that I have, especially on the highway, is that if you need to stop, know that whenever at any point that you need to stop, just go ahead and push the clutch and throw the car in neutral, and you let the car roll. Meaning you're not pressing the gas, you're not pressing the brake unless you have to press the brake. You're slowing down, and you're letting the car roll with its velocity. That's the safest way. Some other things to know about a manual car are that, say you are letting it roll, and you've come down to 40 miles per hour on the highway. You have to know what gear is going to give you what speed. So like I was saying, third and fourth are for like your smaller streets, like 30, 35, 40. And fifth and sixth are for your higher speeds. So say you're going 40, 45, and you're rolling, and you now need to press on the gas to keep going, because traffic has let up a little. Let's say that. You're going to go ahead and push the clutch, throw it in fifth, press the gas, and keep going. It's simple things like that. Okay, now that I've gone over the speed and gears, let's start from the beginning. So once you get in the vehicle, you're going to want to push the clutch all the way in and turn the key to get the engine started. You can let out the clutch to give the engine a minute to warm up, and ensure that your shift lever is in neutral. Once you're ready to go, you can put the clutch all the way to the stopping point and put it in first. And remember to balance the clutch and the gas to get it going. Once you are moving and you want to go with faster speed, you can put the clutch back in and go to second, and then so forth till you get to your desired speed. So remember, third to fourth is like 35 miles per hour, 5 to 6 is like access roads, and 6 is mostly actually highways. And once you are on the highway, leave it on 6 and you drive. So now you know the basics of driving a standard car.